Hello everyone, as part of my travel videos, this video is a little different and some of you may not agree with me, but this is how it goes. Why people in the diaspora can't go home. People in the diaspora may struggle to return home for a number of reasons. Now, some of the most common reasons are due to financial barriers, sometimes immigration situations, or family social obligations. But one of the main reasons that people in the diaspora are not able to go home is due to financial barriers, especially African and Caribbean people, because of the demands on their shoulders. Some people may not have the proper legal status, so they don't travel. Some of them may have family and social obligations. Some feel pressure to stay abroad to support family members financially. And there could be the feelings of shame or failure if they haven't made it financially. Loss of connection may keep them from going back to their country. If you come to the country young, sometimes that generation may not want to return at all. One of the reasons I really want to touch on is finance. A lot of us in the diaspora feel that it is our responsibility to take care of those we left behind. The sacrifices made by those in the diaspora is often taken for granted. The families back there who depend on people in the diaspora do not realize how hard those people have to work. The long hours that they sometimes work on jobs, some of them work more than one job, just to support those back home. And it seems like the more you give, the more they want. And a lot of them do not work. They depend solely on those people. And those people in the diaspora, they give up quite a lot. Some of them can't go home, and sometimes even put their mental and physical health at risk. Working long hours is hard enough. There are people here I know who work 2-3 jobs, and they're sending most of their money back home. Some of them have good intentions for their money besides taking care of the family's home, especially those from Africa and the Caribbean. For some, that means living in tiny space for them to have that extra money. They'd rather send the money to them while remaining in those conditions. So much is expected of them. Some parents depend solely on those children that are abroad. I mean, it's good to help your parents, but then you have your siblings depending on you. And some of them even have relatives who constantly ask them for favors. And most people, you're not able to go back home because you want to impress some people. Some have not been back home at all because they say they don't have the money to buy gifts for the families and friends. But every year, every Christmas, they send in barrels. And the family have a list of what they want in the barrel, brand name. It is hard for people in the diaspora who are maintaining that type of habit. The responsibility of caring for family members back home can be overwhelming. And these people sometimes they become the primary breadwinners, sending, I would say, remittances to cover basic needs such as food, housing, education. Especially in Africa, some of them have to take care of their other siblings. For us from the Caribbean, it's been that way for generations. And a lot of us feel that if we get out of that type of situation, that type of habit, we are selfish. For us, we feel that it's a selfish thing to do, not helping others. Me in particular, I have fallen into that trap where I'm helping practically anyone that asks for help. It also comes with immense challenges and emotional weight. So a lot of people are seeking better opportunities and they come up here. And those that they left behind, they feel that they have to do something to help them, because sometimes they leave people in really poor conditions. Some parents may come in order to make life better for their children. And it's understandable that those people need to send money back to whomever is taking care of those children. And sometimes those children have grown up and they don't have jobs and the parents are not able to send for them. So they're making the sacrifice and sending the money to them. Now, some people become very lazy and dependent on that. And these people sit and wait. So those in the diaspora, I have heard the complaints where they feel unappreciated or taken for granted by the sacrifices. Those who are able to travel back home, when they travel, the same people that they help so well are not able to even accommodate them. They are not so hospitable, and they still expect so much from them. Some of them have been abroad for so long. They may feel like they don't fully belong in that place, and they're actually looking for some way to fit in, and for the family or the friends who has been getting so much from them to at least do something with them. But these people, they don't. And if they do something for you, they expect something in return. The sacrifices that we make is not well received. They love the things that they get. They like the money. But it's not about those people. It is about the people in the diaspora who are not able to go home because of the number of sacrifices they're making, the numerous sacrifices they're making, the barrels that they're sending home, the money that they're sending home, the people that they're taking care of, the lazy people who do not want to get up and do anything for themselves. These are the people that I'm talking about, those in the diaspora that are not able to go home because of those sacrifices. Another thing too is a lot of us have a lot of pride. We're not able to say no. We don't want people to know that we don't have, even if we don't have. Me, I can't say no because of my heart. Once somebody asks for something, I feel sorry. I feel sad. It aches me. I feel like I have to do something. I feel like, oh my God, I'm the person's lifesaver. But no. And you think that you're able to help that person so they can help themselves. But some of them, they don't really want to help themselves. They just want to leave off people. And I'm not talking about my people from my country specifically. I'm not talking about my experience. I'm talking about people in general, people from Africa, people from the Caribbean. I have heard it. I have seen it. I know. I've seen the barrels. I have seen the number of things that people are buying. These people are buying the best for people. There are people here who are buying Nike shoes to send to people back home. And they don't have a pair of Nike shoes, believe me. I'm telling you. I have seen it, and it happens all the time. There are people who are sacrificing, and the little money they have, they are using it to impress people. They're doing so to impress others. I have heard it. I'm saying so because I've heard it. One person said if they don't send that amount of barrels for Christmas, well, they're going to think things are really hard with them. People, if we want to go home and enjoy just what the people are enjoying, they're the same things they're enjoying, stop doing this. I'm very guilty for that one. But we have to stop it. Let us do things for ourselves and stop the sacrificing. It's not worth it. When you go down there, they don't care. They don't do anything for you. They won't even give you a ride for free. So stop doing this. They won't give you a meal for free. If they give you a meal, it's because you gave them something. There are very few people that will give you anything when you're down there. Not even a mango. It's very few that will do it. Because if you don't bring anything for them, don't expect anything. Gone are the days when you would go home and people would be happy to see you and they'll bring things for you. And another thing, even if you give them something, they have nothing to give you when you're coming back. Gone are those days. I know long ago people would try to get some spices for you to take up. They would give you cocoa stick, coconut oil, wafer cheese, jam. People, they don't give a damn. So why should you sacrifice going in the cold, breaking your back at work, catching your Royal Highness in the cold out there, and nobody cares? And you can't even go home. You can't go home because the money you would have spent buying your plane ticket, you've spent it on them. You have all those things in the barrels and you can't go home. Think about it. Stop the sacrificing. Save that money. Take a trip and see how they're going to treat you.